what really happened, and why is Romania going after him? Are they being pressured by someone else to do this? Like, what is the reason why they're doing it, and what do they have on him? I don't know.
Yeah, well, that to me is the right answer. Nobody knows. A lot of people are acting like they know. If you go read it,
well, they want him,
which is crazy.
They want him to go down, and they want him. He represents something. He represents toxic masculinity.
He is sort of toxic.
Romanian
I mean, he says crazy stuff.
They seize his car collection as investigation continues.
The one thing I don't get about this, well, I do get, I understand. People are actually like want the charges to be true, which is crazy because that would mean a lot of bad shit to happen to a lot of bad people.
Yeah, I would rather the charges be incorrect. Look, Romania, I don't know what their system is like. I don't know whether they're corrupt. I've heard things, but I don't have any real information. So I'd be talking out of my ass to say, if he really did, like, sex traffic people, if he really did all the things he's saying, well, I hope that gets proven in court, and I hope he gets punished if he really did that. If he didn't do that, I hope he gets exonerated, and I hope he gets the fuck out of Romania. I don't know. I don't know what he did. I know a lot of what he does is theater, right? A lot of what he does is very, like, satire. He plays the role of this boastful misogynist who smokes cigars and drives Lamborghinis, and that's his thing. And because of that, he's amassed an amazing amount of money. And he's done it by doing this character, this online persona, but then also says very wise things. He says ridiculous shit, but also says really interesting things. He's a very smart guy. If you listen to him being interviewed by Patrick Bet-David, Patrick Bet-David interviewed him after he got canceled off of all social media, and Patrick is fantastic. He's really good at letting people talk and talking to everybody, and Patrick is so wealthy and so successful outside of the world of podcasting that he only does it because he's interested in it. And so he's the perfect guy to handle that because he is not afraid of to talk to anybody. He'll talk to anybody. And so he had him on for a long-form conversation. They talk for hours, and you get to see this is a very intelligent and calculated guy. You might not agree with his message. You might not agree with all the misogynist stuff. You might not agree with, and I don't agree with it. You might not agree with all the crazy antics, but you cannot deny that that's been incredibly successful because it resonates with a lot of young men who don't feel represented in the media. And they see this guy and it looks like fun. Do they agree with what he's saying? That doesn't mean they agree with it. They think it's fun. It's like pro wrestling. He's like a bad guy in pro wrestling. He's a heel. He's smoking cigars with his Lamborghinis. And
see, that's where I go. I think there's probably a lot of people think that, and then I think there's probably other people who take it seriously, which is where it's a super.
Yes, that is where it gets fucked up. Where it gets fucked up is like young boys repeating the shit that he's saying to young girls because
he says
they're supposed to
property
do that.
and he owns them, which is nuts. And so you hope people are like, oh, that's an act. The one thing I will say, for an intelligent guy, which I agree with you, he is, to be doing the things he's being accused of doing and then go seek publicity is a very unwise move.
If he did the things
Correct.
that he did.
Then it's like, what you would think if you're committing atrocities, you would try to stay under the radar. He does quite the opposite.
Yeah, but again, we don't know.
No, nobody knows.
That's the problem.
That's like the pizza
right?
thing, the pizza box. I don't know if you saw that. Everybody saying he got busted because of the pizza box. And then the authorities like, that had nothing to do with it.
No, they knew he was in Romania. It was just, what's that word? Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. That's been what it was. Like, he's making fun of Greta Thunberg, and then he gets fucking arrested right afterwards. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
The way it happens, like, people said it's the biggest, like,
self-owned third biggest tweet or retweet. It was Greta. I mean, it was okay.
It's
but
kind of funny when she said that's what happens when you don't recycle your pizza
that
boxes.
that was good. That was good.
That shit's hilarious. You got to give it to her. Look, and also, like, why are you going after some 19-year-old autistic girl who's really into, like, climate change?
Like, figure out whether that was provoked. Like, he just did that out of the blue?
Yeah, he's just talking shit.
Now, again, that move from somebody who's being accused of sex trafficking, I think rape was thrown in there, and then you're out there being like, look at me, crazy. Again, but what you said nailed it. Nobody knows.
I think the latest thing that they're saying is tax evasion, right? Isn't that what they're saying?
I'll be honest with you. I'm Googling him now. I just found an exclusive story on Vice that says the reason he was kicked off of Big Brother is not the reason that was publicly known or what was thought of. It says that he was arrested for suspicion of rape in 2015.
He was investigated over allegations of sexual assault and physical abuse in the UK, during which time he appeared on Big Brother for 5 days.
It's just posted a little bit ago.
UK authorities declined to prosecute.
This says that they told the producers of the show like 5 days before he was kicked off, and then a video was found of him and a girl doing something that then they came out and said this was like a kinky video they were making, and everyone thought
The
he was kicked
girl
off just
came
for
out and
video.
said that that was very consensual and
Correct.
that they were doing role play and that they liked to do this thing where he
This-
would like beat her up or
This
something.
article is saying that didn't have anything to do with why he was kicked
Yeah.
off the show.
This is one of the
I
perfect.
don't know.
This is one of the perfect examples, though, of kind of what we're talking about. I don't fucking believe
Yeah.
Vice.
I don't know, but yeah,
I don't believe. How can you believe anything that is said about somebody so controversial? Because everybody seemingly has already made up their mind.
Right.
So where to get real information on him? Who knows?
All the objectionable stuff, I think, also was unnecessary. I think if I mean, I don't know him. If I did know him, I would tell him all the boastful shit and the shit about him being, the top G and all that stuff. All that shit's great. But the misogynistic stuff, like if you have daughters or if you have a wife or if you have sisters and stuff like that, you don't want that.
Well,
You don't that narrative, like putting that out there, that's negative to everybody. It's not even positive to him. It's like it's not necessary.
we had him on one of our podcasts, and he almost struck me exactly how you said. Like for let's say he's talking for 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, making sense, smart, and then he says something so
Wild.
over the top, literally like women are my property, like I own them. It's like, whoa, what'd you just say? And that's what he does. But
yeah.